wanna score is chicken fried. Oh, someday somebody's gonna make you wanna gobble up a waffle fry. But
entertainment, faith leaders, sports, governments, and individual activists from around the globe to ensure and educate public people on LGBTQ issues.
Are you crazy?
Oh boy, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A DEI leader sparks calls for boycott. Oh boy. Now, Chick-fil-A is in trouble. Gosh, what's up with all these companies going woke?
all we wanna score is chicken fried. Oh, someday somebody's gonna make you wanna gobble up a waffle fry. But no, don't you know Chick-fil-A say you make the baby Jesus cry. To the child down at Chick-fil-A, even if you're gay.
I don't know what the fuck.
See you in hell, coward!
According to their own website, it says committed to being better at together. Okay. What's going on, Chick-fil-A? What done happened to you?
Close on Sunday. You my Chick-fil-A. Close on Sunday.
So we are told Chick-fil-A's corporate purpose is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that is entrusted to us, to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. This is the individual that Chick-fil-A brought to teach them diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is Eric McReynolds. Chick-fil-A's restaurant have long been recognized as a place where people know that they will be treated well. So what was the point of you going DEI then? This is the trouble with this thing. Chick-fil-A has been known to hold Christian values. And now, what exactly are they doing this, right? Now, there's a video somebody sent me. We're just gonna react to that. I'm not gonna play any comment. It seems like the Chick-fil-A is about to experience the Bud Light treatment. Anyway.
Yes, sir. Stupid political decision.
All right, everyone. So it's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out. I'm feeling tired. But before I go out, I got a pregame. And the only way I pregame is with an ice cold Bud Light. So good. Happy Friday.
No.
I'm beginning to wonder whether or not these deepfakes should be made illegal. But here we are. We got some more things coming your way. This is Nitrous TV. Listen to this video, friends. Listen to this video right here.
Breaking down the process in which they are aiming to achieve those objectives.
Today, I'm really proud to sit on WEF's Power of Media Task Force, and GLAAD is a very proud partner of the Partnership for Global LGBTQI Equality, which is also known as PGLE. And PGLE was launched right here in 2019 and is a project of WEF and the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. We work with the news, business, entertainment, faith leaders, sports, governments, and individual activists from around the globe to ensure and educate public people on LGBTQ issues and move policy forward. In the US, the Gallup poll this year showed that over 20% of Gen Z are LGBT.
Lost your damn mind. You done lost your damn mind.
Wow. That tells you everything you need to know. All right. There's a video that he shared as well that I want to share is because it tends to actually it confirms everything that I thought about. Why are these companies going woke? Well, listen, not to go rogue is even worse for them. So they're doing it because They are afraid of something bigger than the people. Watch this.
Target doesn't care if you boycott their stores. They're not afraid of you. They're scared of a much bigger threat. Let me explain. Target's largest shareholders are Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. These corporations support the Corporate Equality Index, or CEI. This is a rating system for how much American businesses support the LGBT community. If Target's CEO does not support the LGBT community well, then he's not going to be reelected by the shareholders. So sometimes corporations like Target push LGBT marketing campaigns, not because they particularly want to or it's good for profits, they do it for a high CEI score. So they face a backlash, maybe they lose a little money. Failing to get a high CEI is way more scary.
You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, friends, and that is exactly what I'm trying to say here. And the Chick-fil-A former, the CEO, he said a number of things on this video, and I think a lot of time, people mean well, but they don't understand the nature of what they're saying. And again, understanding the Christian approach. Oftentimes we are called to be humble, right? But in the process of doing that, you gotta be careful that you don't change humility into something that God never intended for it to be.
I am a Christian.
This is why he said that white people should be shining the shoes of black people as an act of humility for the sin that they've committed in the past, which I thought was like ridiculous. But anyway, let's listen.
Some of our closing moments here, but a story that was shared with me by a dear friend who shared with me about a revival that was taking place at a church in Texas. And at that revival, on the front seat was an older African-American man that was sitting there. And this young man got up that was there in that service, and he'd been so gripped with conviction about the racism that was in that local community in a small town in Texas that he took a shoe brush and he walked over to this elderly gentleman and he knelt on his knees and began to shine his shoes. And tears began to flow in that service. It was an attitude of conviction. So I invite folks to put some words to action here. And if we need to find somebody that needs to have their shoe shine, we need to just go right on over and shine their shoes. And whether they got tennis shoes on or not, maybe they got sandals on, it really doesn't matter. But there's a time in which we need to have, some personal action here. Maybe we need to give them a hug too, brother.
And some stock in Chick-Fil-A.
I'll ignore that.
I love that because not the act in itself, but what I think that's Lecrae and some stock at Chick-fil-A. Because, listen, man, shining the shoes of people, I can understand you trying to show humility and kindness here. I get the sense of that. But to tell white people to go shine black people's shoes, I don't agree with that. If a white person ever comes to me trying to shine my shoes, I'm going to hurt you. You better get away from me.
This is just wrong.
No. Now, you want to shine another black man's shoes, you can do that on your own. But I will not promote this idea as an act of humility for the sin of slavery. And again, a lot of ministers are doing this. And I love what Lecrae says, give me some stock at Chick-fil-A. You really want to help black people? Give us some stocks, right? But no, it's like he just ignored it.
and some stock in Chick-fil-A.
It's like, I'm just going to walk away.
But I bought about 1,500 of these, and I gave to all our Chick-fil-A operators and staff a number of years ago. And so any expressions...
I love how he ignored the idea of giving away some stocks at Chick-fil-A. You really want to help black people?
No, I don't think so.
How about you do that? But boy, this is exactly where we are today. The confusion is really bad. Chick-fil-A is in serious trouble.
And they're going to get every company out there. So the next company to go down the path is Chick-fil-A. We just hired a VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is right from their page. Chick-fil-A Inc.'s commitment to being better at together means embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion in everything that we do. They actually hired somebody to come in here and do this to Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's all over Google. Like, just Google it. I'm just gonna say.
What's disturbing about this is that Chick-fil-A, again, like I've said, they have a Christian veneer, okay? They close on Sunday. They believe that Sunday is God's holy day, even though it is not. It's the Sabbath that's on Saturday. But nevertheless, we can argue about that. But here's the thing.
Follow Jesus, listen and obey.
Here is a company who claim to believe in Jesus. A company who claim to keep Sunday holy. Okay, we're just gonna go with the notion. The same company is pushing for LGBTQIA plus content while they're claiming to be Christian. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we in serious trouble? I mean, these companies been doing this for a long time, and I think they really believe in their hearts that what they're doing is good. But I want to remind them, no, it's not good. It's not good. You don't have to do that. Now, ministers have been playing into the hands of DEI for a long time. Look at this video. Look at this video here, and it tells you everything you need to know. Check this out.
As grossed out as I am. Take a look.
I need a young black man. Would you come up here on the stage? There's a reason I want to.
Whenever you hear DEI or CRT, it's all one big happy family. It's still under the notion of the oppressed and the oppressor class. You might hear that whenever you hear these terms, diversity, equity, and inclusion, whenever you start to hear those terms, just be aware you are falling right into the LGBT movement. Even CRT in itself is all one big happy family. So look at this minister here. I don't think he's a bad man. I don't believe these men are evil. I just think they either don't understand the nature of what they're doing, or they've gotten themselves into that emotional frenzy, especially in 2020 after the death of George Floyd. People just got converted trying to show their humility for what black people has been through. But in the process of doing that, they literally made themselves look horrible.
A young black man up here. He represents some things that I'm going to come up here on the stage. There's a reason I want a young black man up here. He represents some things that I'm going to talk to you about. This young man doesn't just represent black America. This young man represents all minorities for this moment right here. My race has a hard time getting what's wrong in America. We have a challenge. When was America great for you?
You should ask me that question. It's always been great. There's been ups and downs, but that's a difficult question to ask a young man, knowing that even if he wanted to say America was great, but he can't. You put him in a hot seat right now.
When was there a season of time in the last 240-something years that America was great for you? We brought a lot of people like this young man from Africa. Between 17 and 60 million died in that transition, way bigger than the Holocaust. And we all know about the Holocaust. But for some reason, this has never been really advertised too much.
This minister needs serious help. He really needs serious help. I mean, why are you doing this? I mean, just keep going.
Because my race, we don't want to feel guilty.
That's called white guilt. All right, white guilt. And again, I think it's coming from a place of honesty. I just think they don't realize how wrong this is to do. Whenever you do that to black people, you're actually holding them back. Black people cannot rise when you actually making them feel sorry for existing. That in itself is the nature of racism. That in itself to say to them that just because they're black, they have been marginalized. They are so hated in this country, and this country has never done them right. They cannot rise. That actually holds black people back. It doesn't rise them. And this is the reason why black people today don't do well. They don't do well in school. They don't do well in college. And a lot of our young black men are losing out because we are hearing messages like this. What we need to hear is true messages of merit, accountability, encouragement, help open the doors for some black men so that they can go forward. Tell them that they can make it in this country. That's what we need to hear. Hearing this message is discouraging. If as a black man, I'm like looking at this, I'm like, it makes you not want to do anything with your life. That is not a good thing.
And I'm not saying you should feel guilty because you didn't do that, but your race did. The only people
come on, stop.
that could honestly say maybe America was great would be me, my race.
White.
We had a lot of folks like this young man and other people serving us. And so what Jesus would do in the middle.
Now, serving your ancestors, and that doesn't also mean every white person who lived during slavery were owners of slaves. All right, that was a small class, okay? This is so ridiculous. This is so backward.
Of all this is he would take a person like this, a young black man, and an old white man. We probably don't have a lot of things in common. I don't worry about being treated unjustly in society like you do. Don't have those concerns, but I have them for you. And I care about you. And when I got born again, God did something in my heart towards people like you. Who in their right mind would want to wash somebody else's feet? You see how I'm putting my hands on your feet? I'm trying to get you to see something. You are just as valuable as I am. I know society hasn't told you that, and I know circumstances in life haven't told you that, but God says that about you. And you deserve the right as a young black man to grow up without fear.
That is a positive message at the end here, all right? I just don't like the way the intro went about, but I can understand the heart of the man. I can see his heart. He means well. However, this is, overarchingly speaking, this is wrong. This is wrong to do as a man. It looks like humility. He looks kind. But the fact you're basing this on the skin color is the problem. Not the act, not the washing of the feet, not the message in itself, but the fact you want to make this young black man and every other black person on earth as a minister to feel sorry for existing. Number two, just talking about the white guilt, this idea that a white person should feel bad because of the sin of slavery and what their ancestors had done when they had nothing to do with it. You cannot take the blame because you were not around. You did not make those decisions. It wasn't you. You understand? So these things, I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. That's what they did, and they were wrong. But why do you live in the guilt? The country has done so amazingly well. And the other issue I have with this, you don't hear very much about the people, the abolitionists who were Caucasian, who were white. Many of them who fought to end slavery were white people. They don't get no credit whatsoever when it comes to this. And I have an issue with that because I'm like, yo, why don't we give credit where credit is due? It's okay to condemn those who were wrong, but those who did the right thing, let's elevate them. You never hear a name called of these individuals who done do the work. Abraham Lincoln barely gets any credit. You know, many Christians who fought, and I know people that are of my faith, the Seventh-day Adventist faith, they were staunch writers and speakers and preachers against slavery and the wrongs of Jim Crow laws and everything. They don't get mentioned whatsoever. And I just don't understand the nature of this thing. Yeah, black conservative perspective, want to laugh.
You deserve the right as a young black man to grow up without fear.
I feel the way he feels as well. Well, anyway, friends, it's been real. I'm just saying, Chick-Fil-A has gone crazy. These companies, and again, there is a false dichotomy. There is such a major misconception of what it means to be Christian in our society. And secondly, there is a misinterpretation of humility. A lot of what I see companies are doing, they think, they believe is social justice. Now, I want to say the Bible speaks very much about social justice. Actually, the scripture, if you were to dig, you will find out there's more messages about social justice and helping people in need, and doing what is right to assist them, that more than any other book in the entire world, the Bible is very strong about social justice. But I'll tell you what he does not do. He doesn't do it in the light of promoting a particular sin or evil. You understand? Let me explain to you what I mean. Isaiah, for example, talks about social justice. It tells you, wash you and make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes, cease to do evil, And then he went on to say, learn to do well, seek justice, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, and plead for the widow. This notion of social justice is all throughout scripture. So there is this cleaning, washing of the hands, and even tells you to come now, let us reason together. The first act of social justice is where the person who's performing the act is in a right relationship with God. That is what is being promoted here. Let's go to Isaiah 58, because you're going to see another aspect of social justice as well. Cry loud and spare not. Lift up my voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression in the house of Jacob their sins. So the people of God have transgressed. Why? They were actually just fasting and praying, acting like they were spiritual in essence. But the problem here is that they were neglecting the need of those around them. He said, behold, you fast for strife and contention, to smite the fist of wickedness, and you fast not this day as you make your voice to be heard on high. And God says, I don't want you to be fasting and afflicting your heart and afflicting your soul, trying to act like you are super religious. No, he says, I want you to meet the needs of those around you. Is such the fast that I have chosen, the day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a rush, to spread sackcloth, ashes under him? Will thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to Jehovah? This is the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bonds of wickedness, and to undo the bands of the yoke, and to let the oppressed go free, and to that you break every yoke. To deal your bread to the hungry, that thou mayest bring the poor, that I'll cast out to thy house. When thou seest the naked, that thou shalt cover him, that thou hidest not thyself from thine own flesh. What God is talking about here is you give yourself away. You give your means away to love and to care for somebody else. Here is the huge difference with the biblical social justice. God doesn't look at skin color when it comes to social justice. He's dealing with the idea of meeting the needs of those around you and make the necessary sacrifice as needed. That's how he speaks about it. Not on skin color, not on sexual identity. You don't do certain things for people because of their sexual orientation. You don't do it for people because of their skin color. You don't do it for people just because you feel sorry for them. No, there has to be compassion, love, and understanding, but you do it because it needs to be done. But when this is being done, you don't promote the lifestyle of a person that the Bible contradicts. You don't say, I love you so much, LGBTQIA plus people, I'm gonna love you. But in the process of loving you, I end up loving the things that I know that God hates about you. That is not social justice. You understand? So there has to be a definition to what social justice is from a biblical perspective than that which the modern world is talking about today. And I think a lot of ministers are signing on to this thing, and they do not realize the nature of how inconsistency that is with scripture. And that is a problem. So I don't want to be so chatty and saying too much here, but I will say there needs to be a proper understanding of social justice from scripture than that the world is talking about. It is not exactly the same. And social justice in the light of supporting LGBT, that's not social justice. That's not humanitarian rights. That's not what that is. Okay, that is something else. Okay, that is not the one that the Bible speaks about. Because how can you do social justice in a process you are elevating the very sins that are binding the people in chains away from God? That doesn't make any sense. But can I still love and care for those around me, those who are in need? Can I give myself away to the service of God for the benefit of mankind? Yes, we should, right? But that doesn't mean I need to put an LGBTQIA flag at my church to prove that I love gay people. I don't have to go to a point where I glorify their lifestyles so that I can show them how much I care. No, I care. I do it with the love of God and with the means that I have in my hands, with the truth of the gospel by speaking the truth and speaking life into their hearts. But I do not need to glorify their lifestyles. I do not need to worship their skin color. That is not social justice. That is something else. Anyway, friends, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.